Around 121 people have been killed in a stampede at a religious gathering in Hathras, Uttar Pradesh. The incident took place at a satsang in Hathras. The victims, including a large number of women and some children, are still being identified. Survivors have described how the disaster unfolded as they tried to leave the event in Mughalgadi village. It's not yet clear what led to the rush. Witnesses said the exit was too narrow, and when people were leaving, a fierce dust storm led to confusion and panic, causing many people to become trampled. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has expressed his condolences to the families of those killed in the stampede. He will also be visiting Hathras today. Joining us at this point live is Abhishek Singh from Hathras. Abhishek, the death toll has now risen in the Hathras tragedy. Take us through the situation on ground today, even as the UP CM is all set to visit Hathras.
Yeah, because of this incident, many of the officers were already have moved to the Hathras, and also the DGP and the Chief Secretary of UP, Manoj Kumar Singh and Prashant Kumar, were sent over there by the Chief Minister of UP. Yogi Adityanath, after hearing this incident, he spontaneously took the actions and he sent the relief material, not only the health issues over there. What we can say that because of the stampede, many of them were very severely injured, and for them we have the government has taken the whole scenario of this incident, because the stampede was happened because of the rain, and people were very much furiously wanted to came out from the exit point, and because of that this stampede situation took over there. But where was the permissions? Where was has the organizers taken the permission or not? These were the questions, and because of this an FIR has also been lodged, and many of the things, many of the reports are going to come out very soon, because the Chief Minister of UP, Yogi Adityanath, has called after SIT, which will give his report in 24 hours to the Chief Minister office. And many of the things are coming out because the incident, the people around there and the local administration were very much aware of the whole program, because earlier also in different areas apart from Hathras, these kind of programs were already being there, and after this the incident took place because of the police people were not there, there was not health camp over there, there was not proper allocation of the forces at the spot, because this much of people were coming over there that the whole city was overflooded and the traffic situation was very overflooded. And then too this incident took place. This was the biggest question, and now Chief Minister of UP, Yogi Adityanath, is going to visit at the situation, is going to meet the people who have lost their family members.
Yes.
Although 50,000 rupees compensation has been already announced. Yeah, you bet.
Stay with us, Abhishek. In fact, let me quickly bring in Sanjay Sahai as well, a former IPS officer, into the discussion. Sanjay Sahai, FR now finally lodged under sections 105, 110, 1262, 223 and 238 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita. Is this enough? And what do you make of the tragedy?
First, I will try to discuss the tragedy itself, and then we will get into whether the sections are enough or not. And as the investigation unfolds, we will be able to make out whether sections are enough or not. And there is also a possibility of adding sections. As for the tragedy goes, whatever I have seen and heard on the public domain, I think everything which has not happened or which has happened the wrong way adds to the tragedy. From the SDM giving permission, from there if we start, there's absolutely nothing which has been done as an audit to all the instructions which SDM would have given, which we generally call as the terms and conditions of any approval of this nature. What we see on the ground is that the internal area, the area where the people had actually congregated, that whole area is under the control of the Sevadars and not the police. And it's generally seen that it has been done in a very lackadaisical sort of a manner. And it, on the face of it, it looks decently organized. But if you see the ingress and the exit points and the way the whole thing happened, there's a convoy which was waiting for the Baba. And as he moves there and people were rushing to him to touch his feet, or there's some people say even the tire dust, and there was a ditch next to it, and where the main tragedy has happened. So if we add up everything, I think we were waiting for a tragedy, and anytime anything of this nature happens, then we get into the detailing of it. Suffice to say that on a regular basis, this is the nature of arrangements which are being made. And the people who were picked up from there are no ambulances. People picked up from there. I saw a picture of the trauma center. I think it would be like one of those things which we saw during the COVID times. So the completely broken health infrastructure that adds to the whole issue. Whether there was any evacuation plan or not, that is another is a matter of great concern. And even if it were to be, what happened finally when the evacuation should have happened? So literally nothing happened. We didn't even have ambulance, and the way dead bodies were transported to the nearby health centers, I think that is adding to the tragedy itself. As far as the committee goes, so there would be in one day they are supposed to give a report. I think if you go by all the public domain utterances and pictures and videos and reporters who are there on the ground, I think most of it can be pieced together into a colossal tragedy which was waiting for, and this gentleman has been doing such sort of satsang over and over again. If the crowd expected was 75,000 and finally 2.25 lakhs or whatever number of people came there, I don't think there was absolutely any arrangement to handle a quantum of crowd which finally arrived. Crowd management is a very technical issue. And the way we handle in the public domain, that sort of a crowd management understanding and late reaction, that has led to the situation where we are. And we find the same thing in fire tragedies. We find most of the places we find the same thing. So until unless hard-coded legal sort of conditions come, which finally should lead to things of a nature, audit happening, and people getting punished where accidents don't happen. See, accidents don't happen. It's just by matter of luck that it gets sick. But if there is any accentuating factor which happens at that particular point, the trigger, you just need a trigger for any of these situations to happen.
Absolutely. But what about accountability now? That is very important as well. Will that be fixed? What do you believe, who do you believe is the most responsible for this incident? We are also learning that searches were conducted at this Baba's ashram in Mainpuri, where he was believed to be, but he was found missing.
See, I will tell you about the accountability. The accountability is a lost cause in this nation, most of the places. And these committee reports will come whenever it comes, and whatever might be the nature of action which will be initiated, which itself will take a long time. Now, the current accountability can be fixed on the SDM who gave the permission and the police who have not acted as per that permission. The organizers who for sure have not got into the terms and conditions they have not fulfilled. The standard instructions which would be there in that permission that were not complied with. And the Baba who should have taken the responsibility of the crowd, that did not happen. Frankly, what happens, there is a huge amount of resource issue. These organizers don't want to spend even a single naya paisa on security related issues, which costs. There is nothing which comes for free. As far as the police and administration is concerned, they have got into this habit of allowing all these private dispensations to continue in whichever way they feel like. And if they try bringing or streamlining it to a considerable degree, there will be enough pulls and pressure which will literally cajole them into allowing the things to happen in whichever way it has happened. If you get into another 5, 10 of such congregation, I think at every place where this Baba would have gone, similar situations would have arisen. It was unlucky here that it accentuated a step further. That trigger happened, whether it was because of heat, humidity, whatever might be the reason, a lack of exit. So literally every single cause which you require is available there. And every single agency, which are the main stakeholders of organizing such an event, so they have contributed to this particular incident happening. It is a man-made accident, it is not accident, it is a man-made crime for which people have to be held accountable for. And we have a new legal regime in the country. So these people who are accountable for sure, and they're all the evidence which points the finger to them, they should be taken to task and they should face the heat of the Indian legal system and land up where they should.
Yes. Okay, let me get in Dr. PSV Rao as well, consultant surgeon, Manipal Hospital, Hebal, Bengaluru. Let me bring you in here, Dr. Rao, firstly on your assessment of the tragedy and the cause of it in Hathras, and also how capable you believe the local health machinery is there to cater to the amount of injured that must have come straight to the Hathras local hospital there, and then of course referred to Etah, Agra and Aligarh, which are the adjoining districts.
Good morning. First of all, my condolences to all those bereaved and those who have been injured. I hope they recover fast. Second, stampede is not technically the correct word to use here. Stampede is of the word stampede is of Mexican origin and refers to sudden movement of a herd of animals or a large crowd of people in any one direction, in a very large open space. What the misuse of that word stampede suggests that there are people who don't care for others and run over people in a sudden movement. The correct word for this is crowd crush. Now, what happens in a crowd crush can happen in any confined space. It is unlike a stampede, which happens in large open spaces. When the density of a crowd reaches 5 or more in a square meter, then the bodies are all persons are touching the next person in all 4 directions. Now, what happens in that situation is that you are being pressed and pushed around in all directions. And that is when you can have asphyxia. That means there is not enough oxygen you are able to breathe, and bodies may pile up vertically or horizontally. I mean, in a crowd crush, people may die while they are still standing because they are crushed from all directions. And what is common perception is that someone faints and falls and there are others pushing and then they run over the person. Yes, when someone falls, what happens is there is a space gap created. Now everyone is standing because they are supported from all 4 sides. So when one person falls, then there is a domino effect and a whole lot of more people fall. This is well studied, well explained, and prevention is always better than cure, we doctors say. And the solution to prevention is, first of all, like Mr. Sanjay Sahai said, the small print in when you decide to organize a program, you have to ensure that for the space that you are providing, not more than a certain number of people turn up there. Now, if people turn up, you will have to have crowd control, which prevents more people from turning in. Worse, if concerts, at religious meetings, at various other suggestions, what happens is you put barricades and have entry and exit only where you can control the crowd. And when an event ends or when a sudden event causes a scare and everyone starts pushing, this kind of crowd crush is bound to happen, and you will have. So you can nowadays, you have the technology to use even aerial photography and be sure that you don't have crowding. And you have to have proper crowd control, and you either the organizers or they have to get the police to get the crowd control. Prevention is most important, and most of these cases in the past, when we have done autopsies on them, autopsies have clearly shown that people died of asphyxiation, that means lack of oxygen. And if they had injuries, the injuries occurred after they died, fell down, and then others moved over them. Often the injuries are post-mortem. They are not the cause of the death. So the death is not by crushing of people running over you. The death occurs while you are still standing or because you get crushed from all sides.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.